Whenever I go to create a level, I usually get inspired by other levels. However, I never take into account how each element of a level is made. So in this series, I'm going to break down different famous Geometry Dash levels in an attempt to improve my creating skill and eventually create the best level in the game. Please enjoy. In this episode, we're going to be covering the Cellar Path by Jam Attack. Let's start with the first part. This first part really establishes the cellar theme in the level, and establishes a very good atmosphere, which we'll see later throughout the level as well. The way the platforms shake back and forth makes the structures feel rickety and old. A lot of the smaller details like this furnace, these posters, and this shelf all add to the cellar atmosphere. Boxes and dust in the part really make it feel old, and like this area hasn't been explored in a very long time. The beams holding up these orbs also make it feel like everything is connected and grounded, which makes it feel a lot more real. Overall, this part establishes the purpose of the level and is a very good first section to the level. The crawl space acts as a great buffer area to the rest of the level. It acts as the transition area from the standard cellar to the mystical areas of the path ahead. The wires sticking out are a great way of conveying the destroyed state of this crawl space. The mushrooms in the area also give it an overgrown feeling. I also like these fossils around them, really make it feel like you're going deeper into the ground. The arches act as the first magical area in the level. The background uses a parallax effect. Parallax is the concept that things closer to you appear to move faster than things further away. You can actually test this right now by putting one finger close to your face and one further away and moving them at the same rate. The one closer to you should appear to move quicker than the one in the back. Anyways, the background of this part uses a parallax effect that uses dark cloud objects with bright cloud objects behind them. Another thing that stands out about this part are the vines and pillars that are scattered about the part. The workshop is by far the best area so far. While the background is very simple, the block design is very clean and well made. It has gears and other steampunk looking things scattered around that add to the atmosphere. These pillars with a cool turning animation use little amounts of objects while looking very good. The skulls hanging from the ceiling also give an ominous feeling to the old dusty workshop. Everything in this part feels like it's on a cycle, and I appreciate that. And everything is also synced to the music. At the end of the part, there's a transition to the next part. This symbolically tells the player that there's no going back to the rest of the level. The next part is probably my least favorite part in the level. While it's still good and has a cramped feeling to it like the rest of the level, its designs are pretty simple, and it heavily relies on the drawings on the structures to make it look interesting. It does, however, have good foreground deco. These pillars look kind of cool, I guess. This part does have a decent atmosphere, though, so I can't really hate on it too much. The next part is the Sunken City. This area has an absolutely incredible background, with a very convincing parallax effect. The spikes in the foreground make everything feel a lot more claustrophobic and a lot more compact. The actual structures in this part also are very well made and have a high level of detail even though they don't use any color. Another detail that's almost unnoticeable are these little lines that fly by fast and they give the player a sense of speed. The Oasis is by far the best area in the level so far. It has incredible block design with moss-covered bricks lining the level. The chains in the foreground also give it a mechanical feel. It also sees a return to the beloved mushrooms, and some bigger designs too. The water flowing down the level really makes you feel like you're in an underground oasis, and the flowers make you feel like you're in a functional ecosystem. The slopes also look very well made, with moss and heat respectively to indicate if the platform is safe to land on or not. There are also cages hanging from the ceilings with little beasts inside, which fits the overall theme of the part. The Crystal Chapel starts with a transition with you breaking through a huge stained glass window, which is very clean. Everything in this part looks transparent like stained glass, and continues with the flower theme from the last part, with these little roses scattered about. Paintings in the background also add a sense that this place is less rugged than the rest of the areas. The transparent purple objects that cover the screen also add to the atmosphere in a great way. The Crystal Caverns are an area that I find really suit the music. Take a listen. The song really feels like it would have these glistening crystals scattered about. The block design is clean, and the crystals look very good and suit the rest of the theme of the level. The foreground deco is also good, even though the crystals there look much simpler. I also like the plants and vines that are scattered about that give an extra sense of detail without using very many objects. This part is very impressive and one of my favorites in the level. The last area in the level is the mines. This area acts as a very climatic end to the level, with everything falling apart and debris flying past. It has a mechanical bits and bobs used for mining scattered about, which look very good with the rest of the part's atmosphere. These fans in the back also look really good with the rest of the part. I don't know what else to say, it's just a very solid part. Overall, this is a very good level, and Jam Attack really deserves more credit for making such a masterpiece. But while taking apart this level, I learned a few things. For one, I should make sure to add small details. These will make the level feel much more lively and improve the atmosphere tenfold. The other thing I learned is that your level should have an established theme and purpose visible at the start. Something like this poster that foreshadows the rest of the level. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, that's good for you, I guess. What'd you expect me to do? Ask you to sub? But you're right, please subscribe.